Hey guys, this is Merlini of MerliniDota, and I'm here to bring you a guide on starting items. And this is more catered towards beginner players, but I think that intermediate players can take something away from this too. So firstly, it depends on what lane you're going into. So I will split this up into 4 different parts. First is for solo mids, and then for supports, carries, and then off lane. So for your solo mid, you can go this very safe build with circlet branch, tango, and a healing salve. Should be a little bit less than 625 gold. I believe it comes out to 584. This one gives you a lot of stats, a decent amount of damage, and a lot of regen in case you get harassed pretty early out, either by a roaming support or just by a very aggressive player middle, a DD, smoke ganks from a Chen or Challenger, anything like that. This one will prepare you for most situations. You can't really go wrong with this build. Another build that you can do, if you just want a last hit, if I think I'm versus a mag or something, as Gyro or someone like Quap, I'll go a just a very greedy build. I almost have 625 gold, just this, and it's all about last hitting. If you're not good at last hitting, then you shouldn't go this build, but it gives you +9 damage, especially with a hero like Shadow Fiend. It helps a lot early. But if they play very aggressively on you and they have more regen than you, then you'll lose out with this build, because they'll just trade harass, they'll flask up, you're forced to tango up, and they still have tangos, and then you're kind of on the back burner from there. Another one is the very typical bottle rush. So you have your 3 branches and your tangos. You end up with a little, like around 350 gold afterwards, and you just last hit until you get your bottle. And bottle costs 650 gold now. You can actually skip it on a branch if you so desire. And the idea is to get the bottle to you before the 2 minutes rune. So you probably want it to be there around like 140 or to 150, so you can get the 2-minute rune. And this works best if you have rune control, if you're a hero that's actually good at getting runes, like Queen of Pain, and if you have observer wards out on the map. And the last one is for melee gyrocopter. Obviously not a melee hero, but oops, 250 plus 50 plus 50, it's about 350 plus 50. Okay, I'm missing about 200 gold here, so you can just go this build. It's a very safe build too. If you're a melee hero, it'll prevent a lot of harass, and good players will harass you out early. But if you think you're versus a player that won't harass you very much, then you can just go a bottle rush build or something a little bit more greedy. Stout Shield's a pretty safe build, although it will delay your bottle because you're spending almost all of your 600 gold. So next is for supports. You always want to buy a courier on your team, and you also just buy a mix of whatever items, observer ward, lots of regen usually, and then like a clarity. This is very typical starting items. Pass observer ward to someone, you use your courier, give it to someone if they have a one with a cool effect, and then one other support will usually buy sentries and also tango, salve, and then you also pull your teammates a lot. But you should never have like circlets. Those are very cost inefficient given the gold that you start off with, and you don't really want to start off with more than a couple branches. You really need a lot of regen in your lane. And then your first 200 gold to 220, you either want to buy a flying courier at 3 minutes if you're farming really slowly, or maybe a magic stick if you're in the side lane. But generally those are the items that you should aim for before boots, before TP scrolls. You can also buy smokes and boots of speed, but these are only for advanced players and only if you know what you're doing. And then safe lane farmer, if I'm gyrocopter, I would usually just go the same build that I did with the circlet branch, tango, salve. It's just a good all-around build. It's good in triple lanes. You can sell your ironwood branch for a magic stick if you so desire. You can still rush Midas with this build. It's a very good one. And then if you're melee, I would go with the stout shield build, the stout branch, tango, salve. And the reason I don't get quelling blade is you can always pick it up in the side shop, but you can't actually pick up regen in the side shop. Well, you can pick up a ring of regen, but with triangle boots being nerfed, you don't really want it all the time. And if you don't end up needing a regen, you just sell it and you just buy a quelling blade. But my tip is always better safe than sorry. You always want to make sure, because they might do a lane that you don't expect. They might have a clockwork that you expect to be off lane and it to be easy, but they might put a mid and then dual lane you on bottom. Then you're like, well, crap, I didn't get enough regen. So always build safely, unless you're very, very confident in what the opponents are going to do. And then last but not least is the off lane, but it's pretty much just the same thing. Like if you're a Darkseer, you can go this build, maybe get like a Soul Ring recipe. If you're Bounty Hunter, you can definitely go this build to Russian Orb of Venom. But this is a pretty safe build for melee, Elder Titan too. And if you're range, sometimes you can get boots first if you're just Windrunner or something like that. I've seen Windrunners get boots first, Bat Riders too. Sometimes if you just need to be able to run away from them and you have good vision. Sometimes you want Observer wards, but for the most part it's the same. You can just go this build too, and it's pretty safe in the off lane as a range hero or a melee hero. Boots and Obs wards are for more advanced players too. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Just brief overview of what starting items you should go, and if you have any questions, please email me at merlini@merlinidota.com and or mailbag@merlinidota.com. And if you like my videos, please subscribe. I'll be trying to release more guides in the future. Thanks guys again.